Pack up the truck. We're leaving California.
You're listening to the Home Seller's Advantage. I'm Aaron Zapata, your co-host.
And I'm Todd Anderson, your other co-host. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Seller's Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253 today.
Welcome back to the Home Seller's Advantage. I'm Aaron.
And I am Todd.
And we're the Bald Brothers team over here at the Impact Realty Group with Real Broker. Guess what?
What?
I got that call again this week.
Which call?
The call that says, Aaron, we've had it. We're out of here.
We are out of here.
We can't.
Out of California. We've gotten that call many times.
We have. So many times that we are actually known quite popularly. We're not famous, but we're known quite popularly by a lot of people as the go-to guys for selling properties that for people that are leaving California.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of been our niche.
Yeah, our niche, depending on your upbringing. So Todd, the conversation goes like this.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, we've been thinking about this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been thinking about? Leaving California. And you know what I say?
What do you say?
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I thought you were going to say you're not allowed.
Our
our friends keep on leaving. They keep leaving us.
That's true. Actually, I was in a church group and one of the members said, hey, we're thinking about leaving. And the gut response from one of the other members was, no. Like, you can't leave. Like, no. We don't want to lose anybody else.
Yeah.
And after that initial, banter back and forth, we hear the same reasons all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's too expensive to live here.
Yeah.
We don't like what we see happening in the government. We don't like what we see on the streets anymore when they're making references to homelessness or, just general dirty environments.
Yep.
We hear the people say it's just not the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same.
Yeah. We continue to hear the same themes over and over and over again.
That's right.
And it doesn't seem to be changing, does it? In fact, Aaron and I, before the show, we were looking at some articles of things that are coming up that continue to fan the fuel of those who are leaving. And so this continues to be an issue, and it continues to be something that we have to tackle really on our show and in our day-to-day life.
We have to tackle it because it is affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the business of selling homes.
Yeah.
And so when people are walking out the front door and they are no longer feeling comfortable with where they live for any number of reasons, they call us.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, Bald Brothers, we want to talk to you about selling our homes.
Is that what they say? They say, hey, Bald Brothers.
Bald Brothers. Hey, Bald Brothers. In fact, or they'll,
or for sure, they'll say, hey, Bald.
Hey, Baldy. Hey, Baldy. Yeah. And so the conversation was very real this week when I was talking to this family. The one of the spouses is retired, and they're getting a small pension, but not a huge pension. And the other one has very few years left of work before they retire, and they cannot make it in California.
Yeah.
Even if they refinanced and or have had their house paid off. The cost of food and gas and insurance and everything else. They just said, Aaron, we just have done the numbers.
Yeah.
We can't make it. And since he retired and he's on, a pension, that means that they're already not making it and they're eating into their savings.
Yeah. We actually have another client who has done the same thing, is selling the home and is downsizing. Yeah. Not leaving California, but is doing something similar where they sell the property and they just downsize to something smaller that they can afford.
That's right. And sometimes if you've been in your home long enough, you've got a lot of great equity. If you're downsizing, you can buy that smaller home and then you can pay off the mortgage and reduce your cost. But if you can't do that, if you're not in a place to do that, you have to move. Yeah. And you may be able to still stay in California, but you might have to move out of Southern California where we're based.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about moving if you right now are thinking about this out-of-state move, I'll give you the advice that we give to all of our clients. And that is, the first step is to really leave California and go do a discovery tour.
That's right.
You need to go. Like, leave, get in your car, and drive there if you can. If not, fly there.
Yeah.
And go see if you like it.
It's a big world. It's a big country, and there's a lot of places that you can go. And so before listing your home, you need to have an idea of where you want to go. A lot of times there's a romantic view you have of a certain place, and then you go there and you realize, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. So, and we've actually had people that have moved out and have ended up moving back.
That's very rare, though.
Yeah.
Very rare.
But that's an example of somebody who maybe didn't do all the research ahead of time to know where it was that they were going.
Yeah. And one of those couples in mind has actually already moved back. Mm-hmm. So they left, came back, and then left again. So, it's a little bit of a bungee cord there. Yeah. But we will say this. The discovery tour is important. You want to be there for more than just a day. Yeah. You want to spend a week. Yes. You want to drive through places. Mm-hmm. You want to go out of your hotel room at night and drive through the communities at night. You want to look at the layout of the different communities that you're considering. Mm-hmm. If things are important to you, then you want to make sure that those things exist. I was reading in one of our Facebook groups that this family moved to Tennessee, and they moved to a community and with a couple golf courses. And if you're from Southern California and you're a female golfer, there's lots of ladies clubs. Mm-hmm. You can go out golfing all day long with your friends. Mm-hmm. And she was reporting in this post that she'd gone to 2 different clubs in the town where they decided to buy, and neither one had a ladies club. Oh, yeah. And so she's so used. Well, they've already moved there. They've already moved there. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's not like a discovery tour. This is like oh my word, I had no idea. Nobody likes to golf out here. This is
a discovered tour.
Right. And so, those kind of things, if you have a hobby, if you have a passion, if you have something that you like to do, you want to make sure that you can do that in those places where you're going. Mm-hmm. The ideology, the dream, the sometimes the dream that people have is, I'm going to buy a ton of acreage. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have no neighbors. And then you get out there, and if you do that, you're like, it's kind of scary. Yeah. I'm not used to this. Yeah. Now, some people love it. Mm-hmm. But we know a lot of people that are like, let's sell this big house, move back into a neighborhood because we're just comfortable. Right? Yeah. So that discovery tour. Yeah. Yeah. So if that's you, you need to talk. You need to call us. You need to call us.
And I was saying this is a good time to reintroduce who we are. This is the Home Sellers Advantage. We are the Bald Brothers team with Impact Realty Group with Real Broker. And we want you to call us. So do that right now. Call 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253. And let us know, hey, if this is you and you're thinking about moving out of state, give us a call. We'd love to talk with you a little bit more.
You ran into somebody who said he almost has our jingle memorized.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are listening from K-Wave and you found yourself over here at our podcast or our YouTube channel, thank you so much for listening to the whole thing. But Todd and I have decided to go ahead and sing that for you today. Oh, we are? Okay. Yes, I've decided for Todd and I that we're going to go ahead and sing it today so that for those of you who aren't on K-Wave that are listening to this, that you can also memorize the jingle to give us a call. All right. 833-305-BALD. 833-305-BALD. Isn't that easy?
There we go. 305. I think he said he had it memorized. It doesn't take much to memorize that.
Yes, it does not.
It's the phone number though. That's what you got to memorize. So
we'll sing it one more time for you. Ready? 833-305-BALD.
833-305-BALD.
Yes, we're the singing Bald Brothers, and we'll sell your home.
And you can go to baldbrothers.tv for more information as well. So we want you to give us a call because, listen, choosing to leave a state, especially if you've lived in the state your whole life for a considerable amount of time, right? Your job, your family, your friends, that's a big deal to move and to leave the state. But, we have a Facebook group that was started in 2019, and you were just telling me that we've gone from 15,000 members to 17,000 members, and this is a Facebook group for people who are leaving California.
Specifically moving
to Tennessee. And that has jumped from 15,000 to 17,000. And how much?
In 4 months.
In 4 months.
This year.
Yeah.
this year. And we always see that. So if you're facing the pressure of the election year and all everything else that's going on, you're not alone. Like this is the year that we typically see that uptick.
Yeah.
I saw it 4 years ago, and so we're seeing it again.
So there's a lot of things that factor into that. Aaron, you've already discussed some of the personal issues, political and safety and all of those sorts of things. But there's another thing that's driving people out of California that actually has to do with jobs and businesses relocating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've read numerous articles this morning that have come out from LA Times and Fast Company, and we're going to put these links in our show notes. So if you're on the podcast or if you're on the YouTube show, you can go ahead and click on the links. But there's a bill that's been introduced by by Senator Maria Elena Durazo from Los Angeles.
Yeah, LA.
And she has basically said that she wants the public to know who actually owns a company. So in California, if you own a company, your company may have to have state disclosures on the high level to the state. But then if your company starts another company, then only the parent company
has
is
that
listed as the
information.
owner.
That's right.
Okay, so there is a layer of information that is protected when one company starts another company. So what she is proposing is that if an LLC, a limited liability company, or a similar corporation has an owner of 25% or more, that information gets disclosed all the way down.
All the way down, yeah. So that would lift some of that veil of protection and confidentiality. And so what does that do? That if that passes, that is just one more domino in the lack of desirability for businesses to do business in California. And so we're continuing to give businesses reasons to leave California. And this is just one more chink in the armor, so to speak.
Yeah. The ones that they're particularly concerned about is the LLCs that own real estate properties.
Yeah.
And so this is a big deal if you are a landlord and you own a property and it's owned in an LLC that's perhaps owned by another LLC, and you do that for legal protection. Well, now they're going to want to basically have your personal name and contact information out there. I don't know about your contact information. I take that back. Just your name and who you are is out there. And if you own a business, you know that there is a great risk in being a business owner.
Yeah. This is a way of protecting the individual assets.
Correct. But not even in just like the assets, although asset protection is important, and I don't think that's going away, but there is safety in and being anonymous, whatever that word is.
Anonymity,
right? Basically saying, look, the corporate veil is there for a reason, so that somebody doesn't drive up to my house because they're mad at me, because I own a property that is having a water leak and we're on the way to fix it, and you got mad at me, so you come find my house.
Yeah, toss a Molotov cocktail into your windshield.
Go there. Okay. So, it's the same things that even our publicly elected officials, like their personal information is protected so that somebody can't drive up to their house.
For good reason. There's a safety aspect of it.
And I know those are not apples. That's not apples to apples. But if this law goes through, it just means that there is a removal of privacy protection, much like the proposal that all the utility companies bill their people based on income, which means that your tax returns would be turned over to the utility companies. Like that's an invasion of privacy as well.
Yeah.
But these are all proposals that are making people in California uncomfortable, whether or not they're the business owner or the property owner. And if they're uncomfortable, if you're uncomfortable, you're going to leave.
If you're uncomfortable, you're saying it's a big world. There's plenty of places in the country that you can go and be comfortable.
Absolutely. Sorry, I just lost my thought.
You were building up to it. You really wanted to say absolutely, and boy, you said it.
I said it. Absolutely.
You absolutely said it.
Well, so that's one reason.
That's one reason. Yeah.
That's one reason. We've got another article that was published, and it talks about the fiscal responsibility that California is struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that there is a huge deficit. And when a government cannot pay their bills, they tax their people.
That's right.
That's the only way they can raise their money
Mm-hmm.
is through taxation.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading in the Old Testament, and when Israel asked for a king and Samuel appointed Saul,
Mm-hmm.
he said, you can have a king, but he's going to take
Mm-hmm.
your farms. He's going to take your money. He's going to take your children. He's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 7 takes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the government takes
Yep.
from the people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they're going to cover their deficit. But this is huge.
Mm-hmm.
They are borrowing money right now. The state of California is borrowing money to pay unemployment claims.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unemployment.
Yeah.
So if you are not working and you're getting unemployment right now,
Mm-hmm.
the government is borrowing money to pay you that check.
Yeah.
That should concern you.
That's very concerning. Borrowing money to pay entitlement programs, and specifically one that has to do with the fact that you are unemployed and not generating in a position where you're not generating income. So where does that come from? Well, it's cyclical. And so we continue to have a standard of what's happening in California. And by the way, with the joblessness, I think in that article, was it the same article that talked about that California,
It's from LA Times.
LA Times, has a remarkably high level of joblessness as well.
In fact, California right now has the highest unemployment rate out of all the states in the union.
Yeah.
So the highest of 50 states, it is the highest.
And one of the highest cost of living states as well.
Right. And so I know we're throwing out some numbers here, but California workers only account for 11% of the nation's workforce. 11%.
Mm-hmm.
Unemployment claims account for 20%
Yeah.
of the entire nation's unemployment claims.
Yeah, there's a disparity between those. Yeah.
So it's a huge unemployment, a growing problem. And in fact, by the time we publish this, the next unemployment numbers should be posted. And they may even be higher, they may be lower, but as of right now, when we're recording this, they are the highest in the nation.
And I think part of this, I only glanced through the article, but I think it kind of got started with the COVID crisis and all the people that were getting unemployment benefits from not being able to work. And that kind of was well, there's always been issues in California, but that kind of was a catalyst that started all of this, I believe.
Yeah. They said COVID started it, and we haven't been able to get out of it yet. And, there's a lot of reasons to talk about that. And I don't know what other states are doing, but we seem to be in a pretty bad spot. And as this article points out, that when you run a deficit, the only way to raise the money is you have to increase taxes. And basically the article says, hey, business owners, you're going to have to foot the bill. You have not been paying enough into the system. And there's a very telling sentence in this whole article, and it says that higher taxes will hit small and mid-sized firms in sectors such as restaurants and tourism especially hard.
Wow.
It's very sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You run a small business,
So,
you run a restaurant,
yeah.
you're going to get run out of business.
So higher taxes, which means at the end of the day, there's less money in people's pockets, but our standard of living in California continues to go up, up, up. There was recently a raise in the minimum wage for fast food workers. I think it's $20 an hour now.
Yes.
And we should actually look this up to see what the difference in the price of a Big Mac is, or something that's a standard thing that people are used to getting before and after. We've heard, of course, that what has happened as a result of this is certain restaurants, certain locations have shut down.
Yeah.
In other cases, they've laid people off.
Yep.
And in other cases, the existing staff has just had their hours cut. As a means of trying to not because it's a means of trying to survive and trying to stay in business. So all of this is an amalgamation of all of these different things that is creating this ecosystem or this environment that is ripe for people that are just ready. So they say, I've had enough, and they're ready to leave. And so we are continuing to see that happening, of course, in the real estate market. And this is where it connects to home sellers' advantage. Because if you are in a position where you either want to leave or you're considering making a change, you factor into all of this.
You do. In fact, I was with a business owner this morning, and they are looking at expanding their manufacturing facility in Vegas and making the one here in Southern California smaller. We heard in the news last week that In-N-Out, for the first time in many, many years, raised their prices because of the increase in labor costs here in California.
Yeah.
Burger King followed suit right after that announcement, said we're doing the same thing.
Yep.
So the cost gets passed on. That higher wage gets passed on to the consumer. And so if you're living in California and you realize that unemployment rates are high, the article also says that the people in California that go on unemployment stay on it longer than any other state. So, we have a higher claim rate and we stay on them longer. Okay. So if you're in a position where you've lost your job and you're looking at your mortgage payment and you're looking at your savings dwindle, don't wait. Give us a call. We'll walk you through the steps.
Yeah.
We'll help you plan your discovery tour.
Yeah.
We will put you into contact with great realtors anywhere in the country.
Yeah. And we don't want you to think you're without hope. This is actually quite the opposite. You do have options. If you are a homeowner, you are not without hope. There are options. There are things that can be done in your scenario.
Yes. We have this sound machine. We're like, you have options, people.
I'm glad you pressed the right button and not the one that was
I got it right. Oh, we have fun.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have fun.
Yeah. So where are we? So anything else regarding people leaving California?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but it continues to be a recurring theme because it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, the next step, we didn't even really finish the whole steps, but after you know kind of where you're going, you need to do a financial assessment.
Yeah.
Figure out what your house is worth, figure out what you're going to walk away with, account for the move, account for the replacement purchase or whatever you're going to do. Make sure you have the funds to go there.
Yeah.
You don't want to expend every dollar and then move over to a new place. And although your house is paid for, your property is paid for, you're starting with zero money in the bank, you're just going to be as stressed there as you are here.
Yeah.
So make sure that works. If you're looking for a job,
yeah, you've got to do all the research. All the research, and consider that property taxes in the area that you're going might be different from where you're leaving from. Some states don't have income tax, but they might have higher property taxes. So all of these are things that need to be considered when you're weighing the odds or the pros and cons.
The pros and cons, yes. So, yeah, that's it. You're thinking about selling. You're thinking about moving. You need help. We want to be your trusted advisors when that time comes.
That's right.
And if you're listening to this show, you might be closer than you think, because it's on your heart, it's on your mind. You've been thinking about it for a long time. And let me walk you through a little, exercise that we do with our clients. Fast forward 5 years. If you're 47 now, you're 52 in my, and then fast forward 10 years. If you're 65, then you're 75. Fast forward and look at your life. Are you better off making the move or are you better off staying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just running from a problem that's going to work itself out. And the answer is no, we're not going to be better off if we move. Then don't move.
Yeah.
But if you realize that there's a lot of things you're going to miss out on in the next 10 years because you don't move, you want to make that move sooner than later.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's our advice. Do that little mental exercise, plan out your life for the next 5-10 years, see what's in your best interest, see what's the best thing for your family, and then start moving towards that. Yeah.
Although I don't know how many people really like to add 10 years to their life and their imagination, but it's something you have to do.
It's something you have to do. I've done that with my family and my wife, and like, wait a minute, kids are married, what does life look like in 10 years?
How many grandkids do you have?
Exactly. Not that you can predict the future, but if your grandkids just moved away with their parents, your children, and you're watching them grow up on Facebook instead of in the stands at the games, what does that look like in 10 years?
Yeah.
They're up and gone. They're off to college.
Yep.
Time has passed.
Those transition periods. Yeah, that's very important to consider.
And if you're a business owner looking to move, just so you know, Todd and I do some commercial real estate as well.
That's right.
We have a lot of experience with that.
We don't talk about it as much on this show because this show is about home sellers' advantage, but we do deal in the commercial space as well. That's correct.
That's right. And so, we saved this for the last, but I do want to say thank you to our sponsors, Crosswalk Mortgage and Beacon Escrow. And if you go over to our website at baldbrothers.tv, you can take a look at our wonderful affiliates that help us out and just keep us on the airwaves.
Yep.
We're on the interwebs.
On the interwebs. And we'll close out by saying, we started out by saying we're leaving. Aaron and I are not leaving California. We are going to continue to be here. And so we would.
We're like captains on the ship. We're the last ones to go.
Go down with the ship.
We have to go down. Yeah. No, we do believe that we're put here on this earth to help serve people, and this transition's a big deal.
Yep.
And if we can make it smooth and uneventful and successful for you, we would love that opportunity.
That's right.
So, with that, my friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe and share. And head over to our website and just comment on something. Just let us know you're here. We'd love to hear some feedback from you.
Yep.
So God bless. We'll talk to you next time. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 020222092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.